So, good day, everyone. Today, we will be discussing the exciting and dynamic world of training and development, specifically in the methods and processes. So, without further ado, let's get started. As we begin today's session on training methods and processes, I'd like you to take a moment to reflect on what training truly means. Considering this question, if you had to define training in just one word, what would that word be? So think about your personal experiences, how training has impacted you, and what comes to mind. So please do write them or please do write them in your notes or whatever paper you have. So please your answer. So again, please write down your answer in any sheet of paper. So your word might mean something like growth, discipline, or improvement. So whatever it is, I hope it resonates deeply with you. But here's something important to remember. Training isn't just something that begins when we join a class or start a job. It's a continuous journey that shapes us in many ways. So, in fact, we've been trainings ever since we were born, from learning to walk, talk, and even understanding the world around us. Our journey with training started from day one. And this journey continues throughout our entire lives. But training isn't just something we receive. So as we grow, something fascinating happens. Everyone has received training, correct? And we've also all trained others, whether it's teaching a friend how to do something, mentoring a colleague, or guiding someone through a process. In short, we've all played the role of trainer in some way. And so, training is a two-way street. It's about learning and also passing on the knowledge to others. Just as we'll all receive training and passes on our knowledge to others, this cycle of learning and development is crucial not just in our personal lives but also in the organization. In fact, the management and growth of human resources are directly linked to an organization success. According to Salas et al., they emphasizes that in modern organization, continuous learning and skills improvement have become essential. To stay competitive, companies must not only train employees but also create a culture that foster constant learning and even growth. This ensures that both the people at the same time the organization can thrive in the fast evolving world. As we've discussed, continuous learning is essential for both individuals and organization. But beyond simply fostering growth, there's a deeper reason why this is so important in today's competitive landscape. According to Hoslid and Becker, they pointed out that having an effective human resource development strategy is one of the best ways for an organization to truly stand out in the marketplace. Okay? So in a world where companies compete with similar products, equal access to technology, at the same financial resources, what really makes a difference is how well organizations can find, acquire, train, and grow, and even retain their employee. As we've established the ability to effectively develop and retain talent, it gives companies a competitive advantage. But it goes beyond just processes and strategies. Again, human capital or our people is still our key differentiator. If you still remember when we had our introduction to human resources, we've been basically discussed this one. Okay? Having established that the human elements is the heart of any organization, it becomes clear why all organizations invest in training and development initiatives. These efforts are aimed at enhancing individuals' performance, ultimately driving the overall success and innovation needed to achieve our organizational goals. Again, we are emphasizing here to improve the performance of individual as well as the organization as a whole. As we recognize the critical role of training and development in enhancing individual performance and driving organizational success, it's important to understand that remaining competitive and profitable in today's rapidly evolving business climate necessitates a continuous investment in upgrading employees, knowledge, skills, and performance. Effective training and development are not just beneficial, they are essential or it is vital for organization. So hopefully we are not able to look into training and development as an expenses but as an investment at the same time essential siya. So again, training and development is vital for organizations' effectiveness. So I have here a couple of examples, particularly with Boston Pizza. I know that you are familiar with this one. So they are international um, restaurant chain. Okay, so just an overview of your Boston Pizza. They are a casual restaurant chain specializing in quality pizza and dishes. So I would like to highlight that with their training program, managers undergo a training system called Boston Pizza College, focusing on acquiring the skills needed for success. Also, with this kind of training, meron silang nakikitang outcome. So, what are now or ano na yung outcome having this kind of training? So, effective training has significantly increased restaurant performance, allowing locations to reach growth rates of at least 300%. So, aside from Boston, we have your Starbucks. I know that you're very familiar with Starbucks. Okay? So, again, Starbucks emphasizes training to ensure employees deliver high quality service and product. So, what kind of training they are into with their employees? So, they have your immersion program. So yung immersion program in Starbucks, it includes hands-on experience in beverage making at the same time customer interaction. Meron din silang tinatawag na signature training. Okay? Wherein they have a program like Perfect the Art of Espresso, helping baristas consistently maintaining quality standards. Yan, immersion. We have also your barista. Perfect the art of espresso. Okay? So, building the importance of equipping employees with the right skills, let us now explore how effective training strategies can drive organizational growth and enhance customer service excellence. Now, being competitive or competitiveness refers to a company's ability to maintain and gain market share in industry. But I would like to highlight this section. Okay, providing workers with the knowledge and skills they need to be effective, training strategies have helped them develop the organization and enhance customer service. This underscores the role of training in achieving competitiveness, meaning this suggests that organizations focusing on employee training and development not only improve individual capabilities but also contribute to the overall business growth and customer satisfaction. So, what is training? So employee training is when a company plans and provides opportunities for their employees to learn and improve the skills they need to do their job better. So it's like going to school, but instead of learning general things like math, history, you're learning specific skills that will help you do your job well. Okay? So you're learning specific skills that will help you do your job well. Again, we are not just only learning on general things, but we are learning specific skills. Again, that will make us better in what we do. So, for example, if you work in a restaurant, your employer might provide training on how to use the kitchen equipment properly, how to prepare food safely, or how to provide excellent customer service. So, through training, it helps employees feel more confident and capable in their work, which can lead to a better job performance, higher job satisfaction, and even more opportunities for career advancement. Now, meron tayong question dito. What is really the goal of training? So the goal of training is to help employees learn and apply knowledge, skills, and even behaviors to their daily task. So I just would like to highlight some important concept or idea here. So part of the goal of training is to, again, master knowledge. Okay? Na-mention dyan, master the knowledge. Meaning, employees first need to understand the basics such as company policy, what is your product details, or your industry. Ano ba yung mga rules sa industry ninyo before we develop other skills. So, this is the first thing that we need to do. Okay? After that also, learning skills. So training help employees gain practical abilities like using new software, what else, improving sales techniques, or operating machines to perform the job effectively. Have also shaping behavior, your behavior. Training focuses on improving attitudes and interaction like teamwork, leadership, or customer service, which can be harder to change as they involve habits. So, pag naging habits na yan, ang hirap na kasing baguhin. Another is apply. So, applying training. We are not only gaining training or we are not only gaining knowledge, but at the same time, we need to apply them. Okay? So, the real success of training is when employees use what they have learned in their work, boosting productivity again and efficiency. In short, training aims to ensure employees not only learn, okay? Hindi lang tayo nag-gain, but at the same time, our task, our objective, our goal is to apply what we had learned, ayan, to benefit themselves or to benefit yourself and as well as the organization. So now that we've explored the importance of mastering knowledge, skills, and behaviors in training, let us now discuss your high leverage training. So when we say high leverage training, training that is linked to strategic business goals and objectives. So meaning it is a strategic approach that aligns training with business goals and drives organizational success through branch marking and structured design. In high leverage training, again, paulit-ulit ko itong i-emphasize that it is a strategic approach to employee development. And this includes alignment with business goal. Na-mention dyan, aligning with business goal. Meaning, training is designed to support the company's strategic objectives and long-term plans, ensuring relevance and impact. For structured design process, okay, so it is a systematic instructional design ensures that training materials effectively enhance learning at the same time skills acquisition. We have also benchmarking for improvement. So benchmarking is when we compare, diba? Comparing training programs with those of other organizations helps identify our best practices. And if we identify our best practices, it drives us continuous improvement and better performance. So all in all, high level training focuses on aligning employee development with business goals using structured methods and benchmarking to ensure effectiveness and continuous improvement. With the high leverage training emphasizing alignment with your strategic goals, the next step is fostering a culture of continuous learning. Diba sabi natin a while ago that we are not just only gaining knowledge, but at the same time, applying, okay, and transferring. So, again, we are focusing on fostering a culture of continuous learning where employees understands the bigger picture and their role in their interconnected work system for sustained growth and adaptability. So continuous learning is a workplace approach that encourages employees to understand not only their own responsibilities but also how their roles connect with other teams and the organization as a whole. Now, this mindset fosters a better collaboration. You're able to be adaptability. You're able to adapt, and at the same time, decision making by emphasizing the interdependencies within the workplace. So, pag sinabi natin continuous learning, ultimately, it helps employees align their effort with, again, the organizational goals tayo, promoting innovation and creating a more effective and agile workforce. So again, the focus on the high leverage training has been accompanied by parallel movement to establish a direct connection. Ano yung connection? So between training, initiatives, and improvements in employees' performance. So this movement recognizes the importance of aligning training efforts with specific measurable outcomes related to job performance and overall organization effectiveness. So the essence ni high leverage training, it entails a shift from viewing training as a standalone activity to treating it as an integral part of a performance improvement strategy. So by linking training performance improvement, organizations aim to ensure that training efforts are not just an expense, but as an investment. So yung sinabi ko kanina, that we should not, hanting nakitkitaan nga ti training ket expenses, ngem investment. Okay? So we need to always remember that. Okay? So this approach reinforces the idea that training is a strategic tool for enhancing employees' performance, which in turn leads to improved overall organizational performance and success. Yan. Movement to link training to performance improvement. So training now is becoming more performance focused, aiming to enhance employees' performance and drive measurable business outcomes. This strategic approach ensures training directly improves individual and team performance, contributing to organizational success. So, in the essence, performance focused training emphasizes tangible results, aligning training effort with clear business objectives. So, I have here um, in today's work landscape or business landscape, they are giving priority or emphasis on yung mga yan. So we have accessible learning. So what is accessible learning? Training is now inclusive, offering opportunities for all employees through traditional programs, your external courses, and experiential learning like job rotation. What else? Fostering a skilled and adaptable workforce. Yan. Nandyan sa baba, we have here your lifelong learning. So organizations encourage all employees from leaders to frontliners to take ownership of continuous learning, promoting improvement and adaptability. Kasi nga again, yung palagi kong sinasabi that it's not enough hindi enough yung kung anong meron tayo, kailangan ding mag-update. Okay? We have also here performance improvement. Not just only performance improvement, ngayon dapat continuous isuna. So training viewed as an ongoing process that is directly measurable rather than a one-time training event. So again, haan na dapat one-time event, nalpasan, goodbye. It should be meron tayong measurable result so that we can now track anat progress tayo. Anat outcome na dito nga training. Okay? What else? Strategic alignment, training being used to help attain strategic business objectives. So training is aligned with business goals, turning skills development into a strategic tool for achieving competitive advancement. And of course, proving value. So demonstrating to executives, managers, and trainees the benefits of training. So dapat ipakita tayo, i-prove tayo nga when you attend, may value. Okay, so organizations now emphasize demonstrating tangible benefit of training. Tatlo, no, you're able to gain support from stakeholders by showcasing its impact on performance and business outcomes. So dapat yun nga, dapat may ipakita tayo nga at the value na DJ ipapaobra tayo kanyada. Kasi nuhaan, api ko mga inak ang training. Why would I invest in this kind of activity no awamat gayam timaging ko? Okay? So, think of another ways, tapno no, you've been able to convince them to join. So, this reflects, a shift toward a holistic, hindi lang siya holistic, pero yung na-mention kanina that inclusive and strategic approach to employee development. So, let's proceed now to the meat of our lecture. So, we have your training design process. So the training design process, by definition, refers to a systematic and structured approach for creating effective training programs. Okay, so it involves a series of steps and considerations to ensure that training meets its objectives and effectively imparts the desired knowledge and skills to participants. The training design process is interactive, with ongoing cycles of assessment, revisions, and improvement to ensure that the training remains effective and relevant. So it is a crucial component of talent development, with organizations helping employees acquire the knowledge and skills needed to excel in their roles. So kasano ba iti training design process? Okay, just going back. Now that we know the definition, how these things works. So, as you can see in the screen, meron tayo dyang process. So, this is a illustration of how the process would be. So, it encompasses of a series of systematic steps and considerations to create effective training program. So, if you wanted to create or design training, ito yung po yung gagawin natin. Okay? Han nga DJ, gaputa kaya tayo ag-training or kaya tayo ti agpa-training, we can do it in our own ways. Hindi po. At least naman meron tayong a process to follow. So, first step is conducting needs assessment. Okay, so in conducting needs assessment, we need to identify ana digdi specific learning needs na kasapulan digdi ang attend. Ken ana iti objective mo. Okay, so identify the specific learning needs and objective of training. Ito'y pa nga stage, dapat ma-determine mo no nga ng skill, nga knowledge, and competencies na rin that employees need to acquire. So dapat from this stage alone, you're able na to pinpoint. Ano ba iti kayat mo nga ma-acquire da? Okay, ano ba iti kayat mo nga ma-adal da? Nga ma-take away da? And in this also step, we need to consider organizational goals and constraints. Okay? In conducting needs assessment, also, meron tayong tatlong analysis dyan. So we have your organizational, task, at the same time, person analysis. So later on, as we go along, we will discuss that one. Okay? So next step is ensuring employee readiness for training. So since we are looking into how the readiness the employee to do this training, one must be able to know the attitude and motivation or yung basic skills. Okay? So, how? So, we need to ensure that participants are mentally and emotionally prepared for the training. Dapat mai-set mo dyan mind nga ay we have to attend this training. Okay? Not just only mentally, but emotionally. Address any potential barriers or concerns that may affect their receptiveness to training. Ano pa? Creating a learning environment. So when we create a learning environment, we need to establish a conducive environment for learning. Now, depende. Ano ba iti klase, iti method, iti pa-training mo? Face-to-face ba? So, no face-to-face, you need to consider the physical setup mo. No classroom ba? No hall ba? Classroom setup ba? Ngayon no virtual nga rod. So, online platform. Okay? So, hanti-one problem di siya. Kasi nga, they can work or they can have the training in their comfort sa piman iti kayat na nga pag-attendan. Okay? And of course, ensures that training materials, resources, and technology are accessible and functional. So, before kayong ag-start, ada digiti kasang nagpapa-event kami kat as much as possible, in kami i-set up ahead of time. Ayan, no kung matunubigat iti pa-training mi, pa-seminar mi, we need to make sure nga na-set up itatan, naka-technical rehearsal, na-check amin ng venue, tugaw, amin nga technology nga mausar, aya, tapno no, on the day, wala na kaming problemahin. Okay? No met online, you need to make sure that the DJ host has a stable connection. Okay? Hindi mahirap mag-log in or online nagrigat na ganti ag-log in nakadood pasikot-sikot na, di ba? Instead nga di kita participants ket ag-attend, haanin kasi nagsulit nakadood iti pasikot-sikot na. Yeah? Next 4. Ensuring transfer of training. So again, paulit-ulit kong sasabihin nga haan lang tayo dapat ag-gain. But of course, we need to ensure nga mai-transfer tayo DJ, no anaman din na adult tayo ka di seminar or training kat maipasa tayo iti sa Bali. Kasi nga, again, we are not just only the employee of the organization or department. At dapat kakaduam ijay. So tapno no ag-perform kayo amin, we need to, okay, we need to, what do you call this one? Re-echo naman kung ano yung natutunan mo doon. Okay? So, develop strategies to facilitate the application of newly acquired knowledge and skills on the job. Provide opportunities for practice and reinforcement to enhance retention. So, dapat, hindi adal na at the opportunity na nga mangi-apply. Ijay, obraan na, or di pag-obraan na. Okay? Tatnunuhan lang aginggan lang knowledge at the application na. 5, developing an evaluation plan. So, define clear and measurable learning objectives and performance outcome. Diba, AJ, first step mo, you need to identify the specific learning. Okay? So, ito'y developing an evaluation plan kasi it will now determine no kasano DJ strategies mo tapos ma-acquire na DJ nga knowledge. Okay? At the assessment tools mo, at the metrics mo tapos mo kunam nga ay successful dating organization ay nga training, webinar, seminar ay nga successful. Okay? So after ka nga maka-design no DJ evaluation plan mo, next thing that you will need to do is to select training method. Again, our concentration for this particular unit is the process, eto mismo, and yan, yung item number 6 or phase 6 or step 6. Okay? So, you will now determine no ano DJ appropriate nga training method mo, can technique. Again, based on the nature, content, and the learning objectives. Okay?
So, haan amin nga ma-mention itoy nga method ket i-apply tayo kadijay webinar, seminar, or training. We only need to choose one appropriate methods. Okay? So again, depende ana ti objective mo. Okay? Ana iti content na. Lecture lang ba? So no lecture, classroom setup will do. Ngayon agpatin building ka or agpa hands-on ka, of course, hanga classroom setting. Ayan? So options may include lecture, workshop, simulation, e-learning, on-the-job training, internship, ano pa ba? And many other more. So again, sabi ko nga, as we go along, i-discuss natin iyon. And lastly is mentoring evaluation or monitoring rather, and evaluating the program. So there must be a continuously assess and monitor the training program during its delivery. So collect data and feedback from participants and trainers as to this will help you improve. Ayan, kailangan improve or to continue what you are doing kasi you're doing good. And evaluate the program effectiveness and make adjustment as needed. So these steps collectively ensures that the training program is well designed, aligned with the organizational goals, and capable of delivering the intended learning outcomes. And the process is iterative with ongoing evaluation and content to improve training quality and effectiveness. So yan, importante yan. Okay? So, balikan lang natin saglit yung conducting needs assessment. So, again, in training needs assessment, if we to define it, it is a process to determine whether training to address a performance gap is necessary. So, for example, let us see, what do you think of this? So your sales director complains that her representatives are not making their monthly quota. Okay? So she is convinced they need more sales training to address this issue and ask you to design something by the end of the week. How do you determine the exact cause of the sales representative's failure to meet their quota or their sales quota and whether training is the answer? So how are we going to do it? Using training needs assessment. So first, conduct a performance analysis. Tingnan mo yung desired versus yung actual performance. So, DJ desired, what we are expecting, okay, versus no ana DJ performance na at the moment. What is the difference now at the current versus desired? Talaga ba nga addayo ti disparity na, ada gap na? Kas lang kuma reality versus expectation or expectation versus reality, whichever. Ayan. So next thing that we need to do is to conduct now a training needs assessment. Conducting training needs assessment is to determine if training is the most appropriate intervention. Dati ba nga problem? Okay? Training ba iti makasulbar? So, panunutin tayo di jay when no ti pagsasaritaan tayo ket training needs assessment. Okay? And how can the performance gap most effectively be eliminated? Kasanong masolbar? Or kasanong ma-close the gap? Okay? So, yan. We need to close the gap or bridge the gap. So, training is considered to bridge the gap between existing and what is required. Okay? Yan. So, sorry, naulit. So, balikan lang natin itong case. Okay? In order for us to understand it better. So, why is needs assessment necessary? Of course, hindi naman linagay dyan sa process kung hindi siya importante, no? So, again, needs assessment is the first step in instructional design process, and skipping this step could lead to several problems. Okay? So, sabi dyan, training may be used incorrectly to solve a performance problem. So, for example, if an employee is performing poorly because they are unmotivated, then training is unlikely to solve the problem. In this case, a better solution might be to address the employee's motivation, perhaps, okay, by providing them with a more challenging job or by giving them more recognition to their work. Napay. Training programs may have the wrong content, objectives, or method. So if you don't have, or if you don't know rather, what your trainees need to learn, then you can develop a training program that will teach them those things. So for example, if you are training employees on a new computer program, you need to identify what the employees already know about computers and what they need to learn about the new program. They can, what else? They can, or you can develop a training program that is targeted to their specific needs. Tapnanhan kay nga waste of time. So nga ti usa na training needs assessment, tapnon ma-identify mo, ana ba iti kasapulan na. Okay, ana ba iti kailangan na nga masursuro. Tapnon no DJ lang iti creatam, i-design nam iti program. Trainees may be sent to training programs for which they don't have the basic skills or knowledge needed to learn. So this is a waste of time and money for both the trainee and the company. For example, if you are training employees on your accounting software program, you need to make sure that they have basic understanding on the accounting principles first before nga maka-proceed on the higher level of training. Kasi no hanaan mo DJ basics, all the more nga dinaan mo DJ higher level. So again, you are only wasting time and money. Okay? Training will not be delivered the expected result. Okay? So if your training is not well designed, it is not going to be effective. So this can lead to a number of problems such as decreased employee morale, increased customer dissatisfaction, and loss of productivity. So instead of you helping, it gives you more problem. Ayan. So na-outweigh na yung benefit kaysa yung sa problem. So money will be spent on training not unnecessary because they are unrelated to the company's business strategies. So training is expensive, so it's important to make sure that any training you provide is actually needed. That's reality. Palagi kong sinasabi, nanginat agpa-training. And conducting needs assessment will help you to identify areas where training is needed and areas where it is not. So, no ag-training needs assessment ka, makasave ka. Kasi again, ulit-ulit, that we are only given training nga kailangan da kasi na-identify. Okay? Ma-identify mo dito sa needs assessment. So, it can help you to build buy-in for training programs from stakeholders. It can help you identify resources. It can help you establish a baseline for measuring the success. So again, by conducting this assessment, you can ensure that your training programs are well designed, it is effective, is importante, and meet the needs of your trainees. Anat kasapulan da. Okay? Next. So, since sa pag-uusapan din natin yung training, kasi nga min kat haan amin nga training kat isot makasolbar iti problem. Aya, so let us enumerate. So these are now the training, the instances wherein training might be appropriate when the performance issue is a can't-do issue. Okay? So a major pressure point for training is poor or substandard performance. Poor performance is indicated by customer complaints, low performance, on-the-job incidents, such as incidents or accidents, and unsafe behavior. Another potential indicator to that need for training is job changes, such as the current levels of performance needed to be improved, or employees must be able to compete or complete new tasks. In this particular slide, if employee lack the knowledge and skills to perform a job, and the other factors are satisfactorily, then training is needed. So these issues indicate a gap in knowledge or skills rather than a lack of motivation or resources. So training is the best option no kastoy iti mapaspasamak ijay organization mo. Okay? Training is needed when there is a poor performance resulting from a knowledge or skills deficiency. Ito'y we are looking into a situation wherein an employee is not meeting job expectation due to not having the necessary knowledge or skill. So, nakurang di skills na or nakurang di knowledge na. Mabalin nga, isend tayo isuna, iti training. Okay? So, an employee in the marketing department is underperforming because they lack the latest skills in digital marketing analytics. So, mabalin nga, training is needed or training is the appropriate thing we do. Okay? Anapay, lack of basic skills such as reading, writing, technology, math, and other skills. So, nusika may not have the fundamental skills required for most jobs, okay? Which, again, kas lang kapada na itate performance kasi the knowledge na can skills na di mo amo, so you're not able to perform well. Kas lang kasi met ni lack of basic skills, number 2. So, you're not it hinders you to perform your task effectively. So, mabalin nga, agpa-training tayo. 3, legislation or policy requiring new knowledge or skill. So, for example, there is a change in law or a company policy. So, kadetoy, it can necessitate training for employee to comply with the new standard. Tapnon aware ka, agpa-training tayo. Okay? Tapnon informed digitoy person concerned. Okay? Kailangan may training no, there is a new technology. So, no, ada na-introduce kanya yung nga new tool or ada baro nga ginatang yung nga software, ada baro nga system, of course, kailangan nyo talaga ag-undergo iti training. Okay? So, it requires user to learn how to use them effectively. Ano te, DJ, ag-Canva tayo, diti amo at first. Pero with training, seminars, workshop, we're able to work on the Canva na or Canvas. Canva. Okay? So for example, another example, an accounting firm implements a new tax software and the staff needs training to navigate and use it efficiently. Next, a customer request for new product or service. So kailangan iti training. So nung ni customer mo kat ag-demand iti baro nga product or baro nga service, employees may need to have a training or undergo training. Tapno no, may deliver tayo kinyada dijay, wish da, or demand da. Okay? Next, a higher performance standard. So kasapulang iti training if we are targeting high performance standard. So the organization can, of course, raise their performance benchmark, necessitating training for employees to meet this elevated standard. So for example, ni sales team, okay, they are expected to increase their sales up to 30%, 50%. And so, we need to require training in advanced sales techniques and customer relationship management na matarget nyo 30% da. Yeah? Next, of course, kailangan ti training if you will land a new job. Okay? So, no, the organization nyo nag-create iti new position within a company or other industry, often, okay, nga kailangan talaga ti training. Tapno no, again, we acquire skills, we acquire knowledge necessary for this new rule or these rules. Example, a company launching a new renewable energy division. So, kailangan tayo iti-employ nga na-train about renewable energy. Kasi lang kung employee nga naling ag-install iti solar panel, amo na ti ag-maintain, amo na iti kutingting no kailangan mga i-troubleshoot. Mga ganun ba? Okay? So, digitoy scenario situation wherein kasapulan tayo iti training. Ngayon no, digitoy nga situations iti mapaspasamak in the organization, again, training is not the best intervention. Okay, so no ti problema kat recruiting, selection, or compensation, han nga masolbar deta iti training. Okay? Again, policies and procedures issue, a lack of coaching and feedback, insufficient tools, equipment, or resources, physical setting problems, a lack of motivation, ibagbaga na I won't do issue, han nga masolbar iti training data. Okay? Alam data physical setting problem. Uri kasano iti papan mo pinag-training, no ti problema tayo kat faulty equipment, training cannot solve. But this problem, mabaling nga masolusyonan if we repair the equipment. Ayan. So again, if your performance results from your lack of feedback, then employees may not need training, but their managers may need training on how to give performance feedback. Okay? So, yan. So, in your training needs analysis, meron tayong tatlo. So, we have your organizational, we have your task, and we have your person. So, no organizational analysis to align training with business strategy and to ensure there are resources and managerial support for training. Yung task analysis, meron tayong tinatawag dyan na KSBA. So, knowledge, skills, behavior, and ability. No person, we need to identify who need the training from the word person. Okay? So, yan, organization analysis, na-mention naman na yan kanina. Your person and your task. Let's proceed now with your training methods and techniques. So again, na-mention ko kanina, dahil hindi lahat ng na-mention dito, kailangan natin i-apply in one webinar or seminar. Hindi po. Whichever is appropriate. Okay? So there are training methods, and pag sinabi natin training methods, it is a way or technique for improving the knowledge and skills of an employee for doing assigned jobs perfectively. So, kailangan natin siyang i-classify into traditional and your computer-based. Now, traditional, kasang agpas-klase tayo. So, di ba, klase tayo at the presentation method, at the hands-on method, at the group building method. Okay? Note, goal mo, deliver knowledge, pwede naman siyang online or computer-based, mabalin mat iso na nga traditional. Ayan? So again, no computer-based and online method, obviously, kailangan mo ng technology dito. So computer-based training, blended learning, distance learning, or learning management. So when we say traditional training method, it does not use any kind of technology. When these methods are used, however, this day technology now can already be intervened when presenting using this method. So we have presentation method. So, yan, in passive recipient. And this trainees listen to the trainer like in an old classroom setting. So, bakit itatayan? Kasi lang, no class tayo. So, we have PPT, we have presentation. Ayan? So, yeah, we have your lecture method. Again, this is your traditional training method. It is also known as your transmissive method since it uses vertical learning because it is a one-way type of communication. So, again, no lecture ko na, dagiti agoy sir iti whiteboard, projector, charts, are kind of lecture method. So we have here the variations of lecture method, at the standard, at the team teaching. No team from the word team, so it's not only one, but you have co-trainers. Guess, um, no ag-invite ka sang kumano o no ag-invite nak iti lecturer, ayang hanga siya, sumabalin. Panel and student presentation. Yan. I don't know if you're able to try this one, ayan, in your respective class. We have also your audiovisual technique. So the trainers uses figures, slides, and video. So again, um, it involves our senses. Okay? Ano di siya senses nga mausar? We have your sight. Okay? Sense of napay. So again, it involves sound or your auditory stimuli or sight, your visual stimuli, or either both. We have also hands-on methods. These are training methods that require the trainee to be effectively involved in learning. OJT. So after meron kayo last in your curriculum, fourth year. So you've been able to um, apply now what you have learned in class in your host agency. So kasla kay tulang employees. You have your self-directed learning wherein you're responsible for your own learning. You take responsibility. If I remember it right, when we had our orientation, na-mention ko that since you are now college, okay, we need to practice now self-directed learning, specifically in my class. So, as student, you take responsibility for all aspects of learning. You control your learning process. So, no kasano ka nga ag-study, kaanong nga obra ang deadline mo, meaning, you control your own pace without an instructor. No kahit mga malpas di module mo today or a day, okay lang. Yung no kahit mo the whole week, it's all up to you. Okay? We have also case study. With this unit, you're going to conduct case study. Simulation is creation of true-to-life learning environment, meaning it mirrors the real life and work and scenario. Ito'y mas safe isuna, ore agkamali ka. Okay lang, kasi nga simulation met isuna. And how the simulation works? Very specific example, ket no ag-fire drill tayo, no ag-earthquake drill tayo. So, you are in a safe environment kasi we are, no, something happened in the real world or something happens, no occur iso naman in the future, which supposedly, ankuma, at least we know what to do. So, kasang i-reenactment, of the real world scenario. We have business games, wherein trainees are required to gather information, they need to analyze them, and make decision. Role play. Amo tayo iti role play yan. We act out our characters. We assign na naka-assign sa atin. So, i-react mo, i-act mo. We have also behavioral modeling. For traditional method, yan, sinabi ko kanina, group building methods, wherein it involves the group. Okay? Training is directed at improving the trainee's skills as well as your team effectiveness. Kasi nga, group building. Okay? And in group building, meron tayong tatlong form. We have adventure, team, and action. Adventure, obviously, ayan, it involves structured activities to improve leadership and teamwork ability. It consists of group learning activities with increased degrees of physical and often emotional, and it's difficult. Team training, it coordinates performance of individual to work together to achieve common goal. So, strategies for team training, meron tayong cross-training na tinatawag, wherein it is the process of teaching employee another set of skills to perform in the job they didn't initially qualify for. A cross-training ka, so for example, HR na, kaya't ko itim obra and itim marketing. So, through cross-training, I've been able to acquire now skills or knowledge na pwede kong gamitin on the marketing side. Okay? Job enlargement. Na-mention na natin to when we had our job design. Job enrichment also and job rotation. And again, that's part of your team strategy. Action learning. So yung action learning gives teams or work groups an actual problem and it needs them to work together to solve it. So in technology's influence on training and learning, of course, with the use of technology, employees can gain control over when and where they receive training. Ayan. Again, kaslang self-directed isuna kasi si iti makakontrol. But this one is it involves technology. So since we are talking about technology, let's proceed now with your interactive video. Ay, wrong, computer-based training muna. So ito yung tinatawag nating CBT. So again, it's an interactive training experience in which the computer provides the learning stimulus. The trainee must respond, and the computer analyzes the respondents and provides feedback in the training. Actually, kasla dalang agpapada digitoy. Kasang kumadatin niya, interactive video. It gives trainee the ability to interact with the video content itself through a variety of tools, which includes clickable components that lead to trainee to another section or a video or other website. The use of click, drag, scroll, and so on and so forth. Napay, online learning, tay bagbaga tayo nga e-learning, learning portals, or the use of our internet and our www. Ito na kasi yung uso ngayon, internet online. Okay? Advantage of e-learning, pakibasang tulatan. Effectiveness of online learning. And ito time na mention tayo ti traditional, na mention tayo iti technological or computer-based, meron din tayong blended. So pag sinabing blended, hybrid. So mabalin nga combination of face-to-face, mabalin pa yung adda pa supplement na nga online. So factors in blended learning, increase learning control, allows self-directedness kasi again, sika iti mang determine iti facing mo, and it requires learners to take more responsibility. Take responsibility in the manner that kaanom nga dapat balpas. So, in this particular strategy also, adaptive makon ko nga virtual reality or your VR. Again, computer-based technology is una. And it gives us three-dimensional learning experience. VR ko nam, dikas lang helmet, as you can see, the foundation, if you visit the booth ni CCIS, meron silang VR. Okay, so kas lang, you're there, pero you're not actually there. Ayan. Meaning it creates virtual reality. Nagiging realistic siya. So, virtual reality in training. We have also, yan, scenario-based training, technical training, safety training, onboarding, and simulation. Adabi makunkuna tayong second life in training. The use of your avatar. Kaslang na ganan. As if you represents that icon. Kaslang kasday. Second life kasi initially you are the primary tapos iso na second. Okay? So, pakibasan to lata deta. Only recap for blended learning, virtual reality, and second life. We have also mobile technology and training methods. So, anamat dito mobile technology. It allows learning to occur anywhere at any time with the use of your mobile technology. So, meron tayong tinatawag na wireless transmission system, Wi-Fi nyo, yung Bluetooth ninyo, devices, and your software application. Meron din tayong distance learning. Ito yung wherever you are, geographical dispersed man yung company mo, you're able to come together. Distance learning. Teleconferencing, synchronous exchange of audio, video, and other text between two or more individuals or groups. You're able to communicate. And other tawag dito, trainees use also telephone or personal computer. We have also individualized personal computer-based training. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Your LMS. So, meron din tayong LMS. Your MVLEs are considered as your LMS. Reasons why LMS are becoming popular. Why we need to develop LMS. What are the major reasons? Nakalagay na lahat dyan. And of course, to complete this story of our training process, one must be able to have your training evaluation. So the goal of training is to help learner improve their competence, anapay yung capability and performance. So training helps learners gain new knowledge, correct? And hindi lang knowledge, pero pati skill. So the most effective training also helps learners apply their information to their workplace, and that is the process known as your transfer of learning or simply learning transfer. Now, paano papasok yung training evaluation? So training evaluation, by definition, is the process of collecting outcomes needed to determine whether training is effective. So, dito natin makikita no DJ ba training mo nga naited ka diga siya employees mo kat effective or haan. Okay? So, the evaluation design refers to the collection of information including what, when, how, and from whom that will be used to determine the effectiveness of training method. So, if you're aware, no, ipapa-fill out na kanyayo whenever meron tayong training na ina-attendan, yun. Okay? And you need to answer that so that, alam mo na, if there are things that we need to improve, then this is the time that they can do. Ayan. Pero pag fine-fake natin, parang walang sense na nagkadak ka pa ng training assessment or evaluation. So, training effectiveness refers to the benefits that the company and the trainees receive from training. Training outcomes refers to the measures that the trainer and the company use to evaluate training programs. Anapay digito nga information, formative evaluation. Formative evaluation refers to the evaluation of training that takes place during program design and development. And summative evaluation, from the word summative. It is the evaluation conducted to determine the extent to which trainees have changed as a result of participating in the training program. So, ni Kirkpatrick, iti pinaka-famous. Ayan. Again, hindi lang siya pinaka-famous kasi nga they are globally recognized na method of evaluating the result of training and learning programs. So, ano usually ang ginagawa ng model na ito? It can help you to answer the question like, ano yung mga question? Pwede natin tanungin. Okay? Ano ti impact na? Ano, ada ba positive impact na from your rule at the same time to the organization as a whole, yan yung kaya niyang isolve. So you can use it objectively, analyze the impact of training to work out how well your team members learn and to improve their learning in the future. So undoubtedly, the most widely used and in-demand methods for the assessment of training in business nowadays is eto, Kirkpatrick system. Tagal na, 30 years na sila. So in this level or in this assessment, meron tayong tinatawag na four level of assessment. One is reaction. It is about how you feel about the training. Was it easy to understand? Did you enjoy? Yung mga ganong question. Usually find this out by asking participants a fill-out survey questionnaire after the training. Next is your learning. This level focuses on what participants learned during the training. So, kasanong nga ron nga ma-assess. So, you can give them quizzes, tests, or anything that pwede mong ma-measure. 3 is the behavior. So, dito na-determine the effects of participants' action. Ayan. Are they using their new skills or knowledge in the work or in their work? Ina-apply na ba nila? Okay. What else? And the last one is the result. So this is the final level and it's all about the bigger picture. Did the training leads to improved result of the organization? Slang ko na mata-target na ba? Hindi siya kailangan nang i-target? Nakakaroon na ba ng high customer satisfaction? And so on and so forth. So yan yung Kirkpatrick model. So reaction is the first, learning, behavior, and the result. So methods in order us to evaluate, meron tayong classic example, yung questionnaire, or your evaluation form, sometimes online, sometimes paper. Napay ba interview o interview ka? Observation, 360-degree feedback, and FGD, focus group discussion. And you need to remember that evaluation for training programs ensures they are not only educational but also beneficial from a business perspective by linking them to performance and financial outcome. So, in conclusion, training evaluation is a crucial aspect of human resource management that helps the organization determine the effectiveness of their training programs and make data-driven decisions about future investment. So I hope that you're able to understand our discussion and I'll hope to see you on the next. So thank you very much and have a nice day ahead. Thank you guys.